The knock came like thunder, shattering the silence of Silas Ward's canyon cabin. 3 deliberate raps echoed through the sparse room, shaking the foundations of the solitude he'd built over a decade. Silas froze, coffee cup halfway to his lips, steam curling like ghosts. Nobody came here. His cabin, buried where the mesa's shadow stretched long, was a secret even the wind barely whispered. His hand trembled as he set the cup down, the coffee's bitterness mirroring his life. Through the small window, a woman's silhouette stood against the morning light. She was still, yet her posture screamed urgency barely contained. Silas rose, joints creaking from years of labor and lonely nights. Each step toward the door felt like a betrayal of the vow he'd made 10 years ago. Never again would he let anyone close enough to wound him. His hand hovered over the latch. Her shadow hadn't moved, patient as stone. "I know you're in there," her voice came, soft but clear through the wood. "I've walked 2 days to find you." 2 days. The nearest town was a day's hard ride, meaning she'd trekked through unforgiving terrain alone. Silas pressed his palm against the door, feeling the grain he'd shaped himself. "Please," she said, her voice slicing through his defenses. "I need your help. And I think you need mine." The words lingered, separated by inches of wood and years of walls. Silas remembered the last time someone asked for his help, the last time he believed he could save anyone. His hand moved to the latch, cold as the fear thawing in his chest. The door opened like a wound. She was younger than her voice, maybe 25, with dark hair pulled back and eyes that held too much for her age. A faded bruise marred her cheek, yellow at the edges, tightening Silas's jaw. "Silas Ward," she said, not a question. "You're exactly what they said you'd be." "Who's they?" His voice was rough, rusty from disuse. "People in town." She shifted a leather satchel, her hands steady despite exhaustion. "They say you were someone else before you came here to vanish." The word struck like a blow. Silas stepped back, instinct urging him to slam the door. But something in her fearless stance held him. "They say you're the only one in 3 counties who knows what it's like to lose everything in a moment," she continued, stepping closer. His fists clenched. "You don't know what I've lost." She pulled a worn photograph from her satchel, a man and woman, smiling, in wedding attire. "This was 6 months ago, my wedding day. 3 hours later, my husband was dead." Her voice held no self-pity, only hollow acceptance that ached in Silas's chest. "I'm sorry," he said, the words inadequate. "But I can't help you. You haven't heard what I'm asking." "Doesn't matter. The answer's the same." Clara didn't retreat. Her eyes swept the cabin, its single plate, single cup, a life stripped of connection. "The men who killed my husband are coming for me. They think I have something of theirs. And do you?" Her silence was answer enough. Then came the sound of hoofbeats, fast and heavy, echoing like a storm. Silas counted instinctively, 3 horses, maybe 4. His hand reached for a gun belt he hadn't worn in years, finding only air. "How many?" he asked, pulling her inside and slamming the door. 3, maybe more." Her voice stayed steady, though her grip on the satchel tightened. "They've been tracking me for days." Silas peered through the curtain's gap. 3 riders emerged, horses lathered, faces hard. The leader wore a deputy's star that gleamed like a warning. "What's in the bag?" Silas asked. "Evidence to hang them and the men who hired them." "Why not take it to the law?" Her laugh was bitter. "The law hired them." The words hit like a fist. Silas had fled corruption before, believing distance could erase it. He was wrong. "There's a back way out," he said. "Root cellar, leads to a wash north to the border." "I'm not running anymore." Clara's chin lifted, her eyes blazing with defiance that reminded him of Sarah, someone he'd failed long ago. Outside, the deputy's voice cut through. "Silas Ward, send out the woman, and we'll make this quick. Clara's gaze challenged him. Will you hide behind that door like you've hidden for 10 years? Or remember who you were? Her words stung deeper than the deputy's threat. Silas moved to the back room, where his past lay under loose floorboards. Clara followed. I know you were a federal marshal, she said. I know you lost someone. That's why you're afraid to fight. He pried up the boards, revealing an oiled cloth. Inside, a tarnished badge, a cracked leather gun belt, a Colt, and a letter in Sarah's hand, worn soft from reading. She was everything, he said, throat raw. Sarah believed in justice. Thought the law could protect people. Men with badges came for her evidence. I wasn't there. He buckled on the gun belt, its weight familiar. Clara pulled an envelope from her satchel. This proves Judge Morrison's been fixing trials. Names, dates, bribes. 3 witnesses died for this, including my husband. Morrison, Silas said. He refused to investigate Sarah's murder. Then you know what we're facing. Boots hit the ground outside. The deputy shouted, Ward, 30 seconds, or we come in shooting. Clara squared her shoulders. I won't let them win. Silas pinned the badge to his chest. For 10 years, he'd thought justice was for those who hadn't lost everything. Clara's fire, so like Sarah's, proved him wrong. Justice was fought for, no matter the odds. The door exploded inward, dust falling from rafters. The deputy stepped through, gun drawn, badge mocking its purpose. 2 hired guns flanked him, weapons ready. They froze, seeing Silas with his Colt steady, badge gleaming. Well, I'll be damned, the deputy said. Silas Ward. Thought you were dead. Not yet, Morrison's boy. Silas's finger rested lightly on the trigger. You plan to make sure of it. Just need the woman and her evidence. You can go back to hiding. She's under my protection. The words felt like home. The deputy sneered. Your protection didn't save your woman. The jab was meant to wound, but anger rose in Silas, clean and sharp. Sarah died because she trusted badges like yours. Clara stepped forward, holding the envelope. This'll do more than embarrass your boss. It'll hang him. The deputy's eyes locked on the envelope. Clara struck a match, holding it close. One wrong move, and 10 years of evidence burns. You're bluffing, the deputy said, sweat beading. Try me, Clara replied. I've lost everything. What's one more fire? Besides, this isn't the only copy. Silas saw her eyes tighten, a tell. She was bluffing, but her conviction sold it. The deputy wavered. You're lying. My husband was careful, Clara said. Copies are hidden where Morrison will never find them. They'll surface if I die. The deputy's jaw worked. Silas shifted, improving his angle. The match burned closer to Clara's fingers. You've got a family, deputy, she asked. What's that got to do with anything? Morrison doesn't leave witnesses. You've seen too much. Doubt flickered in the deputy's eyes. Then a hired gun's nerve broke, firing wild. The bullet splintered the doorframe, unleashing chaos. Silas's Colt roared, dropping the shooter. Clara dropped the match, igniting the envelope, and dove behind the table. The deputy lunged for the flames, but Silas's second shot caught his shoulder. The last gunman aimed at Clara, but Silas's third shot was true, and he fell. Smoke filled the cabin as the evidence burned. Clara rose, face streaked with soot, eyes fierce. The deputy clutched his wound. Morrison will send more men. No, Clara said, pulling a second envelope from her dress. This was about making him show his hand. Silas understood. You wanted them to come. I needed federal witnesses, she said. A marshal's testimony about corrupt lawmen carries weight. The deputy paled. You planned this. Clara knelt beside him. Tell Marshal Ward everything about Morrison's operation. Every name, every bribe, every murder. Silas holstered his Colt, surveying his bullet-scarred cabin. His sanctuary was gone, but purpose had returned. He helped Clara up, her hand warm and alive. Marshal Ward, she said, eyes smiling. We have arrests to make. Outside, horses waited to carry them back to a corrupt world needing justice. For the first time in 10 years, Silas was ready.